Hi everyone, I'm Melanie Silva, President of Graduate Student Council. I am also in the Industrial Organizational Psychology program here at UNH. So we're going to have very involved graduate students come up and speak to you about how to get involved, what great opportunities there are here on campus, what you guys can explore depending on your interests, and really get you out there and touching lots of stuff. All right. Okay, so like I said, I'm in the IO program. I'm the graduate student president. I'm starting a new club this trimester, an improv club with a couple of the girls in the program. And so we're just gonna go down the line and see what these guys are up to, who they are, and then we'll go from there. We'll dive into the specifics. So if you wouldn't mind, Jessie.
Hi, my name's Jessie Heck. I am this is my second trimester in the Industrial Organizational Psychology program, the master's program, and I am the new student, the Human Resources Association, the president of that. So, welcome.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, my name is Darlene Houston. I'm a master's in labor relations. This is my second trimester, and this is my last semester. I'm beginning my last semester. I'm in a one-year program. Want to encourage you, some of the clubs I'm involved in. I'm also a military veteran, so I joined the Military Veterans Club. I'm also part of SHRM, which she's the president of, and I'm also GSC. So I encourage you to join any club that you can to get involved here at the school. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Akash, and I'm in the Healthcare Administration program. This is my second year, so I'll be graduating in May. I'm a part of, I'm the VP of Communications for GSC, so you'll be seeing a lot of my emails throughout the semester advertising events and programs that we host during the year. And I'm also president of the Healthcare Administration Club, which we just started this year. We have several events coming up this year as well, so I encourage you all to be active participants.
Hi, my name is Jason Siegel. This is my second year in the National Security Program. I am currently a graduate assistant for one of the deans at the Henry Lee College, and I'm a fitness attendant at the rec center. I also did my undergrad here, so I can tell you a lot about this campus and student life.
Hi everyone, I'm Marlene Marcinzik. I'm a second year IO Psych student, and I'm also the executive VP for GSC and part of SHRM.
Hello, my name is Melanie Gonzalez, and I'm a community psych major in the master's program. I am the treasurer of the Community Psychology Club, and I also have a graduate assistantship in the engineering department as the Project Lead the Way affiliate, and I also am part of GSC.
Thank you, panelists. So there's going to be time for a question and answer. We really hope to hear from you guys. So let's just jump into the specifics. So this is for all panelists. Please think back to a time when you first started graduate school. What were some challenges that you saw, and how did you overcome them? If Melanie could start.
Well, when I started graduate school here, I had not been in school for a year and a half, so it was kind of hard getting back in track, like, okay, I have to spend 5 hours studying, every day. So I think that was the hardest to do, but once I did get in that schedule, I feel like it helped me to succeed in classes. So I feel like that's the most important thing to do, to make sure that you structure your time and really schedule time every day to, okay, I'm gonna study for 4 hours, I'm gonna study for 5 hours, and that will really help you to succeed in all of your classes.
I think my biggest challenge was, because I went from undergrad to grad school, was the difference in the course challenge and just being accustomed to a master level class load and really just adjusting to a new school in general and a new environment.
For me, it was working full-time on top of classes. That took about half this trimester to get used to.
I feel kind of nostalgic sitting over here, because when I first came, I was sitting where you guys were. And my first challenges was being international. There's several questions about credit system, and the information we give you here can get overwhelming, but it is manageable. So just be sure to manage your time.
The biggest challenge for me also working full time, and then at least 3 courses. The thing that worked for me was getting involved. I'm big on that. And because when you get involved in things, you talk to other students and you find out what's going on. And it's a better way to understand and survive here at college.
One of the challenges that I faced was I didn't understand the whole graduate assistant process, how to apply for those. And I learned quickly from my peers and other professors that you don't directly apply to the grad assistantships. You have to just kind of keep your ears open and stay in contact with Lila Phillips, who, if she has your resume, she will send it out to different departments in that way. So it is a longer process, but just to be patient and keep your ears out for those.
Thank you, guys. So we've heard a lot about GSC. GSC is Graduate Student Council. It's all things graduate. So that's trips, clubs, the governing policy of graduate students, everything like that. And so our advisor is Steve Macarolo. He was just on the panel. You just heard from him. So please, if you would, panelists, share your experience with GSC so far or just getting involved. Clubs, anything like that.
Well, it's my second term, so I'm new to GSC, and I feel like the hardest part was when you first get there. It's like, oh my gosh, there's all these students I don't know. So I think that the hardest part is just like being open and saying, hi, I'm Melanie or whoever I am. But once you break through that ice and like really introduce yourself and talk with the people, it's a really great experience. And we go on trips, we have these events. It's really fun to do, and I really appreciate everything that GSC does for me.
So I'm on the executive board for GSC, so I have more of a leadership role, but it's been really interesting to see the change between executive board to executive board. We try to structure our meetings in a very meeting-like structure, but we also try to allow for some time for social networking with some students from other programs, so everyone is able to meet new friends and go on these trips and feel more comfortable just in general at the school.
For me, it was a bit different because I did my undergrad here. I was still connected to the undergrad club, so I've been able to advise some of them for their events. I know a lot of those clubs want to interact with the grad student council more and get like a cooperative partnership with the grad students on this campus, so we're one unified campus. Trips are also definitely something to look forward to. I believe this Saturday there's a trip to Mohegan Sun. I'm not sure if that's a GSC or evening student council, but there are trips available like that. There were some good socials to local restaurants and the park around here, which are really interesting to interact with other students and outside of my program, because you really don't have another chance to interact with students that are not in your program.
GSC events are one of the fun parts about on-campus life. We just come to campus for class and then we go home. GSC is kind of like the ground for where we can all get together in an informal environment, get to know one another from different programs, make different friends, increase your networking circle. And we have great events coming up. Like, for example, last year we had an educational and fun trip. We went to the Museum of Mark Twain, that's right. Mark Twain, and after that we had some fun playing video games at Dave & Buster's. It was a really good time.
GSC, one of the main things with GSC for us graduate students is that if you have any issues, Steve's great to go to. If you attend the meetings, which are usually on every other Wednesday, that's also it's a good place to go. If you're having an issue with your classes or don't understand something, you can bring it to the board, you can bring it to GSC, and that is where they'll help you and your questions will get answered also. And if you have any issues, they'll resolve them for you. So that's another big thing to be part of GSC, I would suggest.
Yeah, I agree with what everyone kind of already said, that it's a great way to get involved, meet new people, make new friends, especially you're with your specific program the most. So, I think it was said already, but it's a great way to kind of put yourself out there and meet other students from different programs as well.
Yeah, and just to talk more about that, it's a special time right now because the first 2 weeks we have the campus to ourselves because the undergraduates aren't here. So there's 2 weeks of welcome. So the first 2 weeks, every day there's a welcome event. So that would be like a wine and cheese reception and free dinner in the marketplace in the cafeteria from 4 to 6, So please take every opportunity there is to like meet each other and network, and it's really, really fun. So Another part of GSC we touched a lot on just now was clubs. So one of the main missions of GSC is to get students to start clubs if there's an interest that doesn't already have a club. So Akash, can you tell us a little bit about how to start a club?
Sure. Starting a club, it's not the most easiest process. It takes about a couple months for you to be a recognized student organization if you're interested in starting an organization. There are applications online. You just need to type in RSO application. It's a two-part application. The first part, once you turn in the first part and they approve it, then you can work on the second part. It is important that you have a group of people with you with the same interest who want to start these organizations. Half of them will become board members, the other half will just be regular members, and you'll also need a faculty advisor for that program. Like I said, now is the best time to start an organization if you'd like. As we go on later, then you won't. Starting an organization is the most hardest part because you need to develop a reputation. We have well-established organizations already like the SHRM, and they've been here for years, and they have such wonderful events. I would recommend you go on the university website and look at all the existing clubs that are there, just in case there's no redundancy. And if you don't find something that you're interested in that list of organizations we already have, then I recommend that you please start one. The applications are online. All the information is online.
Mm-hmm. And becoming a club, you get an opportunity the next year to get a budget. So you have money and things like that. So we talked about how busy we all are. And let's talk a little bit about how valuable it is to balance our schedules to get involved in clubs. What's the value for that? What value do you see in that as students?
Well, I think that scheduling your time is the only way to really be successful. You know, there's nothing that I hate more than saying I'm going to do something and not being able to do it. And I feel if I schedule my time, that doesn't really happen often. Like I said, like graduate school is not easy. It takes a lot of study time. And if you wanted to succeed, I mean, you're all here because you're interested in the program that you're in, right? Like that's what you want to do for your career. So make sure that you make the most out of this time. You know, enjoy your classes. This is what you're going to use when you go out into the field. So I would say just like really, you know, make sure you use the most out of your time. Don't, you know, I try to monitor Netflix time and all that stuff. Like for now, it's only 2 years, and then after that's over, you'll feel like you had such a great graduate student experience.
I really like scheduling in the social times because, well, I'm local to the area, but anyone who's coming from out of state or out of the country, you probably don't have a lot of people here. So it's always nice to be able to say, oh, I want to go to Six Flags for Halloween. Well, guess what? GSC does trips like that. How cool is that? You already have like a group of friends that are going to provide the bus, and you pay a small fee, and you get to go to somewhere fun. Where you don't have a big social group, you know, it's nice to have those kind of social interactions with other people other than your program.
Just off what they said, I would say manage your time in that if you want to join a club, don't take on too many responsibilities. If you work a full-time schedule and have 3 classes, make sure you're not taking too much on so you don't stress yourself out and hurt the club that you're part of.
Many of the graduate clubs that we have right now are professional clubs, so they are in some shape or form affiliated with the national organization of that major like SHRM or the Healthcare Administration and other engineering smart management. So they have ties with executives and leaders of the national organization. So when they have events, it gives you that opportunity to network and get to know them to improve your job prospects. So on a professional level, it is really good to be active in these organizations.
So we talked a little bit about great opportunities here at UNH. One opportunity is being able to go to conferences. GSC really encourages this and gives you the opportunity to get $75 back and like in a reimbursement so you can go, so it's cheaper for you. So a couple of our panelists have been to these conferences. So Melanie, can you tell us a little bit about the conferences that you've been to, and Akash?
Sure. I went to a Women in Leadership conference that was held here, and I went to a Community Action and Social Change conference that was held at UConn, and those were both phenomenal experiences. I felt like, first of all, the speakers, anytime you go to a conference, the speakers are going to be phenomenal. They're going to motivate you. Like, I left all of them feeling like, oh, I want to change the world. You know, I definitely recommend you, and both of them were free. So I would definitely recommend that you make the effort to check your emails, see if there's any conferences available. and just apply to it or register for it. It's an amazing experience, especially if it's something in line with what you want to do. You'll meet a lot of people and network, and I would definitely recommend printing a business card, like going online, ordering some. It really makes a difference when you go there. Just like spread your business card around.
Yeah, I went to the SHRM Student Regional Conference in Rhode Island last April, and it was really neat to meet people from the same sort of programs but from other schools, and really kind of reach out and talk to other people from the area. And the same thing with UConn. We met a lot of really great people at that, that really share the same interests and motivation. So it's really great to go to the conferences, and the fact that we have GSC that's going to reimburse you for that conference when they are more expensive. It's a very simple process. You submit something to explain, what you learned and why you went and why it relates to what you want to do when you get done with the program, and then, they send you a check for that amount. So for the $75, up to $75.
The different colleges on campus also put on conferences relevant to their programs that they have. So I would look out for emails like that, volunteer for them too, because you get to meet the speakers behind the scenes and really get one-on-one talk about them. If that's what you're interested in learning, they can really give you some good career advice and great networking opportunity.
Yeah, I participated in a conference. It's an ACHE conference. That's the American College of Healthcare Executives in Stratford, I think it was. University reimbursed $75, which was great, and that gave me an opportunity to participate within the organization, to be part of their sub-communities, and they selected me to be a board liaison. So I think this is a great chance to put yourself out there and advertise yourself if you're a new entrepreneur in your career.
Thank you. So let's change gears a little bit about moving away from Graduate Student Council and talk a little bit about academic integrity. So like other universities in the country, UNH takes academic integrity very, very seriously. And so can you guys talk about some resources that students can seek if they have any questions about like plagiarism or how to cite quotes and things like that? So
in the library on the basement floor, there's the CLR, the Campus Learning Resource Center, and they have tutors, but they also will edit your papers and make sure that everything looks good. I had taken a class with a pretty hard professor, and we had someone from the CLR look it over, make sure that everything looked good, and they can help you with citing and making sure you're not plagiarizing anything, even if you don't think you are. And any questions, I would definitely suggest going there.
I would say also talk to your teachers. Most of the professors are really good with working with you through email. They want you to succeed as long as you're putting the work in. If you have questions, definitely ask your professors. Yeah, so can we talk a little bit about that more? Can we talk about how talking to our professors and other professors outside our college is very beneficial to us now and in the future? It makes like one-on-one connections. For my program, I had a teacher that worked for the CIA about 30 years, so I met with him outside of school. I actually got breakfast with him, and we talked about what I want to do with my career. So just shoot them an email and build that relationship. Your teachers want you to succeed. They really do. You just got to make sure you're putting the effort to get in contact with them. Email, cell phone, they're very open with that type of stuff. It's not like undergrad where you only see them in the classroom. Mm.
And I think it's also important for you to network with your professors because they could give you a great opportunity to be a teaching assistant. Like I know one of my classes from the last term, me and the professor developed a great relationship. I did well in the class, and she said, hey, if you want to be a TA next year, you're more than welcome to. So that's a great opportunity to get your half your tuition paid and get a job for the following year.
The other great thing about UNH is that all the professors, a lot of them are coming from that field that you're studying in. So you have people working in the CIA, the FBI, the fire departments, the HR world. So use those resources. They know people. They have their own network, and they're willing to share. As long as you're making the effort and you're getting to know those professors, they're very open.
So let's talk about the undergrads. So the undergrads definitely outnumber us. So let's talk about how, we do have good relations with the undergraduates, and what are some tips when they have their mad dash, when they're going through finals and midterms? Where are good spots for graduates to go, to print and to use laptops and computers? What do you guys suggest?
For computers, I would try the Bartell Student Activity Center. It's a small building where career development is in the residential quad. The library gets packed with undergrads during finals times for them, so really no good chance of finding a computer. The downstairs, they've gotten rid of all the bookshelves, so there's more workspace, so there's definitely a good chance to find a spot to work in a group on projects in the library now.
And if you want to study, there's a lot of academic buildings that are also open, and I know in the engineering department in particular, there's rooms that have computer access, and you could even print from those computers, so you could check out there. Even if you're not an engineer, I'm not an engineer, I'm there all the time. So it doesn't matter what your study is.
I would say like mutual respect is also a good thing. You know, if you see somebody on a computer and you need to print something real quick, just ask them. Say, hey, can I log in real quick, or just print this real quick? Like you can go right back on. Usually people are pretty polite and open, so I would just say mutual respect. And you know, this trimester, you know, next year we're switching to semesters, so it'll be a little crazier. But right now, when we get done in March, we'll probably be in like their midterms, so we'll be a little bit off by a couple weeks. The library does extend their hours for them, so take advantage of the late nights.
Right. Okay, so a retrospective question for you. So if you were to go back in time and tap into your first year just coming to UNH mind, what question would you ask yourself and then answer it? This is a real interview question, people. I was asked this, and it was like a slap in the face because I was not prepared. So maybe write that down, think on it, and be able to answer it.
I guess it would be what good places are there to go around here. Like, I feel that networking with people has allowed me to find good places, like to go to the bars, to go out to eat, to go just have a good time. So I feel that getting to know my area is something I'm still working on, and something that I wish I would have asked myself.
I think I would have done an internship earlier just for the experience. I was working full-time when I first started grad school, and I was stubborn and wanted to keep working full-time. And I think if I had the chance, I would have done an internship just for the experience instead of working.
For me, it would be, since I did my undergrad here, kind of knew some of that already, I would say, like, where do you want to see yourself by the time you're getting ready to finish this place? Do you want 2 or 3 internships under your belt, a grad assistantship, and like, what can I do to get myself to where I want to be by the end of my program?
Right. Definitely start early with your job searches. It's never too early to put in applications for jobs or internships. I'm still doing that, even though I've got a couple jobs lined up. But and also knowing the area, I've been here almost 2 years now, and I'm still not very familiar, which I'm really embarrassed to say. But the best way to go about it is just making new friends and making friends who are locals here, who know the area, to take you out.
So do you guys have any good spots around campus to go out to eat or to get coffee? Or like New Haven's known for pizza, so any good pizza joints that you guys suggest?
Pizza Joints is a place called Bar in downtown New Haven that makes some of the best custom pizzas with toppings you would not expect. Around here, just up Post Road, there's a place called 744. It's a nice little bar and grill spot that a lot of faculty and students visit. It's about 2 minutes up the road on Post Road on the left.
Correct me if I'm mistaken, but every weekend the trolley takes you to downtown New Haven. So
Yes.
The shuttle.
Okay.
So I would definitely recommend that. It's a great way to go down to downtown New Haven for free. You don't have to drive, and you have a great time. Like, there's so many bars. There's a lot of VL people there, so you get to mingle with those students. It's a really fun time.
Yeah, New Haven has a lot of museums and just a lot of culture in general. And actually, going back to GSC, we do usually have grad night out, and it's usually like a monthly thing, and we'll go to a bar it's really fun. We'll go to like Buffalo Wild Wings downtown, and you'll be able to meet new people. We'll provide apps, and then you'll just have to buy your own drink. So it's really fun.
You should definitely check out the Yale area. The architecture is really beautiful, and my favorite place is the Yale, the Peabody Museum. I like dinosaurs, so on Thursdays it's free entry on Thursdays. So.
Okay, so we have a couple minutes for questions. Who has the first question? We'll get to you. Don't worry.
I know several people have stated they work full-time. I just wanted to see, what did you guys do to kind of manage it? Because I haven't been in school in like 7 years, and I'm also working full-time and trying to go to school full-time. So I wanted to see what sort of advice you guys have.
I would definitely develop some type of time management system that works for you, whether it be a schedule or to-do list, or just like break down every hour and what you're doing every hour of the day. Melanie is a great organizer. You can ask her what she does. And just really, you know, being conscious of your time. It's going to be exhausting, but you could do it. You could definitely do it. And, you know, you just have to ask people for support in your life and just, you know, make sure that you're putting school first. You'll get through it, though.
Yes, down front.
Hi, my question was regarding online classes. I went to undergrad before Al Gore invented the internet, so I've never taken an online class. So if you guys have, what are your recommendations in terms of interacting with your classmates and just kind of the differences in an online course versus an in-person course?
From what I've seen from my undergrad and grad, there's 2 different types of online courses. One is the teacher will tell you you have to be online from like 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. It's like an actual class, and the teacher shares his screen. Basically, with that, the teacher will ask you questions. It becomes a conversation. The other type of online class uses Blackboard, so you have to check that daily probably. The teacher will like upload a PowerPoint of the lecture. Then there'll be like discussion questions that you have to respond to at least 2 or 3 discussions in the Blackboard group. And there might be some homework you have to submit online through the Blackboard system.
Yeah, I think with the online, it's definitely a lot of self-discipline because you're not sitting in that classroom and you don't have the teacher reminding you. So once you get that syllabus, you know, make sure that you mark stuff on the calendar and find out, you know, when he wants things due and when the deadlines are. And then with the discussion, you know, that's your way of being able to show that you know what you're talking about. You don't have that discussion in the class. So make sure, you know, you include enough detail in your grammar checking and that kind of stuff just to show that you're a professional.
Whether your class is online or not, I would still say you get familiar with Inside UNH and Blackboard, because all your class information and contact information of your professors, all the syllabus, everything that all the homework that they post will be on Blackboard. It's also where you can see your grades, your midterm and your finals, and also check your emails as often as possible.
So we have time for one more question.
Oh, down here in the front?
There's one.
Yeah, thanks. So I was an online student before I came here, so I'm really looking forward to kind of the full student experience. Although I am still living 40 minutes away in the Hartford area, I noticed that a lot of people are second-term students and things like that. At what point did you become experienced students, you know, going to, you know, the programs that you're in and everything like that, and leadership about that? Because I feel like I might still feel new after just 1 term or, you know, maybe even 2. And then how do you feel about involvement in the school from even further away? Was it something that you were able to, you know, just being in communication with the school, in communication with your programs, that was able to, you know, kind of give you the instill on, you know, being connected like you'd want to be? Or is it kind of a live here kind of thing that you need to meet with people, you know, on a weekly or bi-weekly basis here on campus kind of thing?
I think one of the challenges is that there are a lot of commuters coming from a distance, and it's hard if you're coming on a Wednesday and you don't have class. It's like, am I going to make that drive an extra day? And, you know, is it worth going to something that's only going to last an hour? So it's definitely a challenge that other students have felt. I think I felt really at home once I started getting really involved and kind of just threw myself into different kinds of clubs and going to these meetings that they have. Their GSC meetings are bi-weekly. A lot of the other clubs are either bi-weekly or monthly. And really just going to those meetings, and then from there you can kind of, you know, branch off of that and say, oh, hey, we're going to a bar on Saturday, let's meet up. And then it kind of just, you get into a flow of things.
Right. As long as you take initiative, I think that the process becomes quicker of familiarizing with the campus and the process of how everything works around here. I didn't start off being the VP of communication of GSC. I just came in as a member, went to a lot of their events and meetings, just participated, you know, and then once I figured out this is something I'd like to do, then I stood in for the elections. For commuters and everyone who's got cars, everything's not going to, the parking situation is an issue on campus. It's not going to be glorious outside like we have right now, plenty of parking spaces, so do account for that. Especially if your commute is like 40 minutes or so, please make time for finding a parking spot.
Mm-hmm. Parking, parking, parking. And so we have committees on GSC, and there's just so many opportunities. You just have to look for them. So we're out of time, so thank you so much, and we really look forward to a year filled with conversations and really making our time here memorable. So we're going to go into our breakout sessions. So thank you, panelists.